Welcome to part three of A Mother's Love. When I sit down with phenomenal mothers, beautiful mothers, just like the lady that I'm sitting next to now. And right now, I will let this phenomenal mother and grandmother introduce herself.
And a great grandmother.
And a great grandmother.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This is a tough topic, but I am Denise Williams. I am the president of NAACP here in Springfield. I'm also the uh, chairperson for legal redress for the state of Ohio, NAACP, for the Ohio Conference.
Let's get right to it. What does mother's love mean to you?
Well, mother's love is a tough job. You have to love unconditionally. You know what I mean? No matter what your child bring to you, we have to stop, drop everything we're doing, and just give that child your undivided. That's what I've learned about being a mom. Mother's love it's sometimes you have to use the tough love. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going through right now. But I'm here to tell you, loving your child is the best feeling in the world. The best. And please, when you have grandchildren, and I have two great granddaughters, the love is so different than with your children. I mean, that love is so deep that you can't even really explain how you feel. It's completely different than loving anybody else.
Yes, ma'am.
Trust me.
Yes, ma'am. How has your faith shaped the way you love, guide, and pray for your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren through the different seasons of motherhood?
And you're right, the different seasons. You go through all sorts of emotions with your children. Mm-hmm. And I gotta be honest with you, without God, I don't know how I would have made it. Mm-hmm. I have two children. Mm-hmm. I have a son who's 36. His name is Richard E. Quick Jr. And my daughter is Elena Good, Elena Leonard. And I'm here to tell you, without God, I don't know how I would have made it as a single mom. I did get married at the age of 30, so my daughter was like 11. And then we got our son, and he was like newborn. And I'm here to tell you, when I first laid my eyes on that child, I left my job. I left work that day, and I kept him. As soon as I laid eyes on him, I wasn't thinking about having any more children. As soon as I laid eyes on him, it was just like magnetic. So he's our adopted son, and he is now 36, but he is the most precious young man, and I knew it was nobody but God. So I had to trust God when I first saw him, this baby. Okay. Oh my gosh. I fell in love instantly when we first saw him. We both did.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Nothing like seeing a child for the first time.
Oh, and I didn't think I would have those feelings because we adopted him. But oh my gosh. And now he looks just like us.
What is the moment in your motherhood journey that made you truly understand the deepest of your love for your child, and how did it change you?
Well, having my daughter, I became very ill in my 3 months of having her. And they said I needed to abort her because I became deathly ill. And I'm going to tell you, just feeling that movement inside of me, I know it was nobody but God. Because I had an illness, and they told me I wouldn't survive trying to have her. But I said, now I was on a journey with my religion and my love with God. I didn't really know him at that point. But somehow God knew I didn't know him, so he stepped in and he said, "You will survive." Now, when I got older, that's what I realized. But her and I went, they said she's not going to make it and you're not going to make it. So they had to call the family in and say, who do you want to live? So my mom chose save my daughter because my daughter can have more kids. I can't. So I said, no, I'm having this child whether it kills me. But God was so involved because my daughter is now 47 and I'm still here. So I know for sure that love I felt before I even had her, I knew that God was going to make sure that we survive.
Yes, ma'am.
That's deep.
That's deep. What is something about a mother's love that people often misunderstand?
Folks misunderstand a mother's love, especially with our sons. It's something about the son. But I love both of my children equally, but it's something different when you have a son. Now, my son is more hands-on with me now that I'm older. He's really hands-on. Excuse me. So is my granddaughter. You know, my grandchildren are really hands-on with me. You know, my daughter is more of her love language is the work of service. You know, when she would come over, she would cook. Mom, you hungry? Mom, let me get this up. Let me do that. So there's a whole different kind of love when you have a son and a daughter. You know, I can relate to her like, okay, let's go shopping. Let's get this little cute little dress. My son wasn't into all that. He wasn't into let's go shopping, Mom. I need a suit. My son wasn't into all of that. But my son, as much love as I have for him, I can't even put it in words for you. You know, having a son is different. You know, now my daughter thinks that she's the mother, okay? But it's unexplainable, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Did I answer that?
Yes, ma'am. How has becoming a mother changed the way you love? And I won't even say how a grandmother, a great grandmother, you can answer that question any kind of way.
Well, let me say this. As a grandmother, the love you have for your grandchildren is totally different than the love you have for your children. There's something deeper. It's a deep kind of love. You know, God speaks of love your mother, honor your mother and father. But let me tell you, when it comes to these grandkids, I honor them so much. And it's a whole different, unexplainable kind of love that you have for your grandchildren. And let me say this part, don't add great grand. Okay? That's a whole different kind of love. And I can't explain it. I can't put that in words, but you will feel the difference. And I think what it is for me, like when my grandchildren were small, I would, you know, they didn't come over quite as much, but I would love to send them back home. That's the thing about it. You can send your grandkids back home. They can come over and spend the night, and it's that love. I want them all around me. I want them next to me. I just want to feel them. But you know, God has really provided me with a lot of patience and understanding when it comes to my children. You know, without God, being a single mom, you can't make it. You can't make it without him because it is so many different elements to being a mom, grandma, and great grandma. You see what I'm saying?
What do you hope your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren always know about how much you love them?
What do I know? What was that?
What do you hope your children always will know? Your children, grandchildren, and great children about how much you love them.
Yeah. Listen, it's unspeakable. I know for a fact they know how much I love them. Spending time is what they need most. Spending time, even if it's just watching a movie or last Sunday, my two great granddaughters went to church with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked over, we was praying, and I looked at my smallest one, she's 4, and the way she would fold her hands as she closed her eyes is because she's seen great grandma do that. But it is the greatest love that you could ever feel, and I'm thankful to God that He provided me with patience enough and with being strong enough in my body to spend those times with my great grandchildren. Because a lot of women my age don't have great grandchildren yet; they just have the grandchildren. So I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful that God placed them in my life.
Yes, ma'am. In what ways do you show your love to your children every day?
I spend a lot of time with my children, my grandchildren. Having dinners and with no cell phones at the table. We just having conversation. They test my patience. Okay. However, God provided that thing for mom to have the patience and don't lose your patience with them. And so when we spend time, lots of times I do one-on-one so they can have my undivided attention. We may go out to breakfast. We may go out to dinner. We may stroll through Walmart. It's that time. So they're going to always remember that. They're going to always remember when we went over Mama's house? I want them to remember how special I made them feel. Each individual. I tell them all, and they come and hug me. I say, you my favorite. Until the next one comes, I say, oh, my favorite. So, but without God providing me with the patience and the clarity and understanding, I don't think they would have any memories of that. But because He has placed that inside of me, God has moved in a different way with me because I don't have any patience. But I notice I have more patience with my grandchildren. Yeah.
What does unconditional love look like in your home?
This is a very difficult question. Unconditional love looks like no matter what you do, you can always come and talk to grandma. You can no matter how bad it is, you can always come to talk to grandma. Now they may not always like the answer, how we're gonna handle things right now. My grandson is here with me and he's 17. I want him to understand that the deepness of the love that I have for him and how the only thing that will get you through the hard times in life is God. And my it's important to talk about like the extended families. You have to have those talks. Like my 4-year-old, she wanted to know where is my parents. Okay, so sitting down with her across from me, I said, listen. So I told her all about my parents, and she was, spending that quality time talking and loving on them. They're not gonna ever forget. They get so tired of me kissing them. We could be watching a movie and I say, come over here, I need a hug and a kiss. It's the quality that you spend with your children. It's the memories that you develop with those grandchildren. Because when I'm gone, I want them to say, remember we used to have those feasts over Mama's house? I want them to remember our deepest talks, our deepest conversations. Lots of times my grandchildren confide in me and they say, don't say nothing.
Right.
So don't break that promise. So because you want to keep yourself open for them to come to you at any given time, no matter how bad it is. And that's what I want them to say. I want them to say, we could talk about Mama about anything because I make that time, I make that moment, no matter what I'm doing. Mama, can we talk? Oh, okay. Let me get off of here. What is it? You all right? I stop whatever I'm doing to tend to them. Although they have parents, but it's not like a grandma's love.
What words of encouragement grounded in your faith would you share with young mothers who may feel overwhelmed or discouraged to remind them that their strength, purpose, and the value of their journey?
Read that one more time.
What words
Okay.
of encouragement,
Mhm.
grounded in faith,
Mhm.
would you share with young mothers who may feel overwhelmed or discouraged to remind them of their strength, purpose, and the value of their journey?
Putting God first and trusting in God is what you're going to need most.
Mhm.
That's the first thing off the top. You're going to have to lean on God because there's some things that our children would do that you're just not proud of, or that you just can't tolerate, or that they're going to put you through. When your heart is broken by your own child, you have no choice. You can't work it out yourselves. You've got to turn to God. You got to trust in Him that He will work this out. Sometimes, in my opinion, as a mother, I have found myself stepping in and trying to fix it myself versus asking God to take it over. Every now and then, you got to take your child and say, "Look, here she is. I can't handle this. God will fix it." Now, right now, I'm just prayerful that God would intervene in His magnificent power. He would step in and He would wipe it all. He would take care of it. So I just want the young mothers to understand, when your money gets low, when you have sleepless nights, when dad isn't giving you what you need to help with these children, turn to God. And it's easy for me to say, but right now, even my family, we have turned to God. But as a mother, you still shed those tears, and there's nothing wrong with shedding those love tears for your children.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you would like to share with the listening audience?
I just want to say to the mothers, so I don't know if this is going to be shown during Mother's Day, but I want to say right now, Happy Mother's Day. There's nothing more powerful than being a mom. So love your children. Pay attention to your children. If you feel like you're getting out of control, you feel like you want to put your hands on your children, I need you to seek help immediately. Don't just handle it yourself. Go to God and seek help. That's the only way you're going to survive it. Please. Thank you.
We'll be back with more of a series called A Mother's Love. Till next time, peace.